Alright, here's my brother, here's my sister. They're going to be watching my presentation.
Okay, today my presentation is going to be on social conformity. Everyone in some way has or will socially conform, whether they like it or not. It has a serious impact on society, and it's both very good and very bad. There's multiple showcases of this. I personally have had experience, and I'd like to analyze what I've conformed to and why I believe it's very important. Some people might ask, what is conformity and why do we do it? Social conformity is when a person or persons change an idea or belief that they have towards something because of how a group of people look towards it. Some people might not understand what the motives are behind social conformity, and there's three main ones right here: correctness, acceptance, and the seek for new relationships. Correctness, majority of people, if not everyone, wants to be correct on whatever's being debated or whatever's going on. They just want to be correct. Nobody wants to be wrong. There's a study where the motivation to be correct was influenced by a group of inaccurate people. And for acceptance, there was another study done where they did an experiment where college students participated in things such as drinking games, hoping that in return they would get new friendships and relationships with different people. And this also just doesn't happen at parties and social events. It just happens in everyday situations. And most of the time these acts of conformity are incognitive. So, like, they don't know that they're doing it. It just happens. How conformity impacts everyday life. Here's an example. Say there is pizza for lunch and there is some cheese sandwich for lunch. And this kid is thinking, I'm going to get a sandwich, but everyone in front of him gets pizza instead. So when it gets his time to choose what he wants for lunch, he gets the pizza instead because that's what everyone else was getting. He was like, to hell with the sandwich, I'm going to get pizza because that's what everyone else did. Thought process. The problem with conformity is that it destroys the thought process. It pretty much just makes you have no free thought. It's the motive behind robbery of your free thought. You don't think for yourself, essentially. Positives. It impacts the younger generation, the adult generation, in positive ways. Like, for example, say a child doesn't really understand heat and frying pans. So, say his or her parent makes an accident and touches a hot frying pan, and the child realizes the pain and suffering that is caused from touching the hot pan, and the child thinks to himself, I'm not going to do that because I see that my parent is getting pain from this. And for the adult generation, another example would be we all wash our hands, at least I hope so, and we wash our hands, but we don't necessarily understand why or what causes like germ spread and how diseases are spread and exactly like what happens, but we still do it anyway because everyone does it. It's what we've been doing for a while. My first-hand experience is I was riding my dirt bike with friends and I was going through a trail, and there was a trail that I really wanted to go through, but it was very dangerous. But I didn't do it because I noticed everyone else was going around it and that it was very dangerous, so I thought to myself, you know what, if they're not going through it, it's probably a good idea that I shouldn't go through it. So that's my first-hand experience with the positive side of conformity. The negatives. Drinking at parties, like I said. Say someone isn't having that much fun and they see everyone else is drinking, having an alcoholic drink, and they're having a lot more fun than that person is because they aren't drinking. The destruction of society is that, like I said earlier, it robs you of free thought. You don't make any decisions for yourself. You're pretty much controlled by other people's thoughts and ideas, which is a huge problem. There's something else, what it does to attraction. If you look at what we were attracted to in the 1950s, you look at the models. Like, the female models were a lot bigger, a lot thicker than they were in today's society. This idea of the attractive female changed over because of what a group of people thought, and other people looked up to that group of people, and it changed their thought of a quote-unquote attractive woman. Conformity, in my opinion, is a very interesting topic that can be debated on both sides, whether if it's good or bad on society. Even in my personal experience I've had with the positive and negative effects of conformity, I personally think that it's necessary for a society to function and advance. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I hope you learned something today. Think about it and try to understand it as best as possible, and I hope I helped you.